everyone, this is your OG, Original Gamer, and this is another Godforge video. Today we will be looking at the top 5 possible heroes for the Asgard faction. These are not champs we've seen at all or have been leaked in any way, just pure research on cool figures in the mythology, paired with what could be possibly made into an interesting kit or ability in the game. This is going to be a quick one, so stick with us through all 5 and possibly even a 6th boss potential. Stick around to hear that one. Let's optimize. Alright, so we are going to talk about the top 5 possible champions or heroes for the Asgard faction. This is the 3rd faction we'll be doing this for. First out of the gate is Frigg. Okay, Frigg is the queen of Asgard, the wife of Odin, and her power encompasses marriage, prophecy, motherhood, and fate, weaving themes of magic, power, wisdom, and tragic devotion. She alone has Odin's privilege to sit in Heloskalf, and I may have butchered that, I apologize. It is the high tower from which all realms are visible, reflecting her mastery of foresight. So she knows all fates, but remains silent, embodying the tension between foresight and inevitability. She also protects the house in her mythology, so perhaps she could be an invoker. She also tricked Odin a time or two, but she couldn't keep her son from dying thanks to Loki's mischief. So maybe she's weak towards some of Loki's kit, or she's strong against some of the abilities that Odin has. She carries a spindle for weaving fate. She has keys to the house, and mistletoe was associated with her for protection. So we also see she's associated with the falcon, the swan, and the sheep. And she's most closely associated with like wetlands and life-giving water, kind of like a Mother Earth sort of feature or figure. There is much debate as to whether Frigg and Freya were once the same goddess, though Norse sources treat them as unique and separate, but they share many commonalities, okay? So that is Frigg. Next up, we have Freyer. Freyer, or the more anglicized version, just Frey, means Lord. He was a major Vanir or nature-oriented god associated with fertility, peace, fair weather, bountiful harvest, and prosperity. Certainly sounds like an invoker. He is called the foremost of the gods and hated by none, and was the third wheel to Odin and Thor. He governs sunlight, rain, crop growth, and ecological balance. Maybe he's a support hero. He is the twin brother of Freya, goddess of love and war. He comes with some gear. Gullinbursti, it's a golden bristled boar that illuminates the darkness and pulls his chariot, so that's cool. Skjoldblanir is a foldable ship that always sails with favorable winds that he has. Both are really neat pieces of the lore that could be definitely incorporated into the game. Last but not least, he has a self-wielding sword, which is pretty cool. It can fight on its own. He can send it to kind of fight on its own. He, in the mythology, dies by the hands of a fire giant, Surtur, when he gives his sword away for that mission. He takes bad advice, or he chooses the wrong thing, which is to give his sword away, and he dies at the hands of the fire giant Surtur. But perhaps he doesn't, or he's brought back or something like that, and he is a hero we see in Godforge. That would be pretty cool. So that is number 2 on our list. Not in any particular order, just 5 that we think would be really cool to add to the Asgard faction. And number 2 is Freyer. All right, so after Freyer, we have a really interesting one. We have Tyr, the Norse god of war, justice, and cosmic order, okay? One of the oldest Germanic deities and a prominent sky god. He governed the legal and contractual aspects of warfare, like treaties and oaths and rules of engagement and rules of war. Sort of a mix between Thor's brute strength and Odin's strategic cunning. He symbolizes the law, and his sacrifice that he makes to bind Fenrir with the magic ribbon called Gleipnir, which was crafted by some dwarves, shows the value of upholding the rule of law despite personal loss. He lost his hand, symbolizing that cost it takes to maintain cosmic order. He agreed to put his hand into Fenrir's jaws as collateral when they were trying to bind him. He is supposedly fated to battle and kill the hellhound Garmir, and they say that is possibly Fenrir reborn, but he dies in the process. Some sacred objects associated with Tyr include swords with an upward pointing arrow for victory, or arrows in general that are pointing upward towards the sky are typically what you would see with him. His name actually gives us the day of the week, Tuesday, apparently, and some even contend that he was the chief god before Odin's rise. He represents the honorable sacrifice for the collective order, a combination of battlefield courage and courtroom integrity, and he's making a comeback, or we hope he is. Maybe he could be included in Godforge. All right, next up, we have number 4. This is an interesting one. Baldor. This is the Norse god of light, purity, and joy. Son of Odin and Frigg, husband to Nanna, father of Forseti, who is the god of justice. He embodies light, beauty, innocence, and summer. His radiance, right, I put that in quotations, but that could be a buff. His radiance is so profound that he gives off light and flowers bow as he passes. He dwells in Breidablik, which is a hall in Asgard where nothing impure may enter, and he owns the ship Hringhorni, the largest ship ever built, and he rides the horse Letfeti. He dreamed of his own death, prompting Frigg to extract oaths from all the entities, fire, water, metal, stones, etc., not to harm him, but she overlooked mistletoe, considering it too harmless and small. Loki crafted a dart from mistletoe and tricked Baldur's blind brother into hurling the dart at him. It pierced his heart, of course, killing him instantly. His wife also died of grief, and they were burned. Hermod then rode to Helheim to negotiate Baldur's return. Hel agreed if all things wept for him. All wept except the giantess, who was Loki in disguise, sealing Baldur's fate. Now, like we said, he could be an undead version of the god of light, purity and joy. That could be a neat thing to play with. Or his death, also, his death is considered the first sort of domino in the triggering of the apocalypse in Norse mythology. So as his murder destabilizes cosmic order, symbolic of the fragile nature of beauty in a universe bent on entropy. But post-Ragnarok, post end of the world, both Baldur and Hor return to a peaceful world. They both die, but then they're both brought back and they're able to exist in this new peaceful world. So that gives opportunities to include heroes like this potentially in the game. Of course, he looks like he might be an epic or a legendary, and like we said, maybe an invoker, or invoker, someone who puts radiance or other buffs or speed turn meter type elements because he can see into the future. But that is Baldor. Now we have something special for you. This is not a hero we think would be a playable hero in the game. This is instead a champion we think could be a boss. Okay, we just want to include this as like a bonus, okay? So Mamir is a primordial giant from Norse mythos, a divine counselor and a disembodied oracle, we'll talk about that, whose wisdom transcends even Odin's. His name means to think or recall, linking him to memory and mindfulness. Mamir is considered the rememberer or the wise one. He was the god of ancestral wisdom, prophecy, and cosmic knowledge. He guards Mamir's well, which holds all these secrets to the universe. He is likely a frost giant, and he's the brother of Odin's mother, making him Odin's maternal uncle. He's listed third among the Jotnar, but was an honorary member of Asgard. In the war between Asgard and the Vanir, only he was beheaded. but Odin preserves his head with herbs and magic and restores its speech, making him an oracle that can advise Odin on hidden matters. Okay, Mirmir's well is located beneath Yggdrasil's root in Jotunheim, and he drank from it daily using the I probably say this wrong, Gallarhorn, but that was later owned by Heimdall, who we do know is in the game. So there could be a link to some other characters already. Just a side note, Odin sacrificed an eye to drink from this well. That's why he's down an eye, okay? So his eye went sinking into the well as this permanent reminder of the sacrifice that comes with higher knowledge and foresight, okay? Also, Odin learns 9 magical songs from Mamir that include spells for healing, battle, and protection. Sounds like Mamir could be a boss or a mini-boss maybe. What do you think? This is one of our boss guesses. Leave your comments below what you think of Mamir as a boss. Okay, last but not least, we have our synergy pick, okay? Number 5, the Magny and Modi synergy pick. These are the sons of Thor. Magny means mighty and Modi means wrath or courage, which are both traits personified in their father and then that are passed along to them. Magny's mother was a Jotun giantess, and Modi's mother is unspecified. Could have been the same. It's kind of alluded that they might be brothers. When Magny was 3 years old, he rescued his father Thor, who had slain the giant Hrungnir, but the corpse had pinned him. So Magny actually lifted this giant's leg single-handedly while only a toddler and was rewarded with Hrungnir's horse, Gulfaxi, which means golden mane, and he gets this horse, and that angered Odin, who thought the horse should have been his. This establishes Magny as the strongest, even putting him past Thor. Both brothers survive Ragnarok, inherit Mjolnir, and help to rebuild the world with Baldor and Hor, who come back from the dead. Modi does not have too much of his own mythos. He's usually like associated with Magny only. Magny can have some of his own, but Modi is sort of always with him. He is thought to represent the berserker's fury, sort of like this animalistic fury. So you'll see him with axes and fighting in this really animalistic, frenzied type of way. Perhaps Modi could be a rarer blow, but when combined with Magny, it creates a really cool synergy. They symbolize the destruction and renewal cycle, as well as those strong Viking ideals that Norse mythology supported. Okay, so that's all right. That's all it is, folks. That's our top 5 possible heroes for the Asgard faction. Let us know what you think. Did we miss someone? Drop it in the comments below. Did you like this? If you did, hit the button, subscribe, and then be on the lookout for the rest of the factions to come. Take care of yourself, and remember, play smarter.